Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. So sorry we're late tonight, but there is a massive accident on the A127 and we're struggling to get back. Thoughts go out to the people involved in that accident because that did look nasty. But I'm glad to have you all here. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. The same as you, but I've been working late tonight, so I've sort of had to rush home, quickly have a shower, have something to eat, and then set this up, and then crack on. Then I'm back to work tomorrow morning. Poxy stock take.
Scott?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm off tomorrow for a change, so it's great. I'm ready for tonight's show and then chill out. Mrs. is getting ready for a walk tomorrow, so gonna get up early with her, send her on her way, so that should be good.
Send her on her way. Off you pop.
Off you pop. Slap her ass. Go off you pop. Go walk around the garden.
There you go. See.
Yeah, all good, listen, and look, because it's late and everything else, I'm going Leeds in the morning. I've got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to fucking go and meet Graham. So we're going to have to keep it quite short and sweet tonight. But thank you to everyone in the chat for joining us. It's a pleasure to see you all as per usual. Get involved in the conversations. We will be reading out comments. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're nearly at 60,000, which is our. You still got that little tag road to 60k. Have you still got that?
Yeah, I think it's on there. That's on. Yeah. It's on the Ask Us Anything thing.
For Sal, one fridge freezer. No, I'm joking.
It's not that
time. Yeah, for 60,000 is obviously been our goal for a little while now, and we're nearly there. So if you're new, subscribe. If you're not, get your nan to subscribe. It all helps. Get
your nan. Imagine that, oh, nan. So what, she's going like that. Well, watch this West Ham Fan TV. Don't worry, just fucking sign up. Get the boys to 60k.
That's right. Get the boys to 60k. Get the boys to 60k. And I must apologise for my foul mood the other day, but being locked in the garden in the cold is not too fun. But I did get to watch the game, and it was a pleasure. I was happy.
Watching through the window,
but no one told my face. But I've seen quite a few comments slagging me off, saying that I shouldn't come on it if I've got the ump. But hey, I did create the show, so I'll go on it if I fucking want. All right. But anyway, what's our subject tonight? So you got to be one, isn't you?
Yeah. Well, I've had my dinner. I want some dessert now. Let's talk about some pie.
So that's the end of PAI Capital.
Yeah. Well, there was never a beginning for PAI Capital. Bye pie. What a fucking shambles that was.
It was a shambles. I mean, there's still arguments, and I see PAI weird approach by them. Very strange approach. Getting all of these people to tweet, and I bet they feel a bit silly now, don't you?
Well, I would imagine so. We said before the way they went about the business was really odd. And looking at the statement that I read on TC's Twitter, sort of like, well, yeah, because the club's winning, we don't want to distract it. But, you were still buzzing around at the start of the season and the club was sort of in a good position.
They was buzzing around at the wrong time when the transfer window was open. And, you know what I mean? And let's be honest, the people they've got involved, obviously the Ferdinand brothers, Tom Skinner, Tony COYI, Tamir Hassan, fucking whoever else.
Father Christmas, Easter Bunny.
Yeah, it was just a fucking
Barbara Windsor.
PR fucking like stunt from the beginning, wasn't it? It was a load of shit. I'm not going to say they had no intention to buy a club, but I actually fucking believe David Sullivan. They didn't even actually make a bid for the club, if I'm honest. And I think, listen, as much as GSB get hate, fair play to David Sullivan for not selling to this lot. Because he probably could have, if he wanted to, sold it and then just made a bit of money and then left it. But no, do you know what? Fair play to him. And I wouldn't want to be in the hands of them sort of owners. Because you look at the geezer Beard who went on TalkSport. That was a car crash of an interview. He got ripped apart by TalkSport. Just nothing. As I said from the beginning, the only thing they was interested in was the land and the stadium.
And the thing that I would say about our dealings with PAI Capital is that a Twitter account popped up a little while back, and they was everyone and their mother had them on, right? And they was sort of what's the word? They was appointing these sort of spokesmen, and they was very smart. They tried to be very smart, because the appointment of Rio Ferdinand as one of their spokesmen for West Ham was an absolute car crash. To be quite honest with you, it was disastrous, because Rio's getting a lot of stick at the minute, and I think rightly so for the way. Well, I say rightly so. Look, he's a Man United boy now, but that's up to him. But don't involve yourself in West Ham and try and live off the back of West Ham's, little bit of rise, by trying to take over or being involved in the takeover of the club and all of that sort of thing. But I'll tell you the one involvement I got to me. I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it at all. In terms of like putting Tony COYI forward, or Anton Ferdinand, or Tom Skinner, or whoever it may be, to answer the questions, because I think the only questions that needed answering is the ones that the fans wanted to ask them, and that's like, what are you gonna, like, you keep on talking about the ground and how much you're gonna make it West Ham and all of that sort of thing, but what are you going to actually do about the training squad? And I messaged them directly, and I put out a tweet a little while back, getting the questions, because I wanted them to see the scope of the questions that people want answering. And they came back to me and they said, oh, well, look, you can, Tony COYI's just jumped on board. Why don't you interview him? And everyone, Amos Chat, West Ham Way, they'd all interviewed these people that are involved. And I said, no, we don't really want to interview a spokesman who says like, yeah, they're the real deal. I don't want to know whether you're a real deal. You're obviously a real deal. You're a company. I want to speak to someone that's directly involved with the bid. Like, you've spoken to TalkSport. Now come and answer some questions from the fans. The fans want to know what your intentions are, like, and I put it across to them. I just said, look, if you win us over, then it's got legs, because we're the ones that can put pressure on the club to sell. The fan, not us, but the fans. And if we're having it, and you're sincere, and you're someone that's involved in the bid, that can come on and answer questions without, going away for 2 days and coming back with a script, on the spot answers, on the spot questions, and you're not sort of like flapping at the answers, and then people be convinced, and they just weren't interested. And for me, they said, yeah, we'll do it, but it never materialized. If you're serious about it, then you need to, you need to sort of come walks and all, and answer the questions. They didn't want to answer them, and that for me sets it. And it's the same as Gold and Sullivan as well. They don't want to answer them. That's why they don't do these fans for. I know they're very old now and very ill, but they're, it's the same for them. They didn't want to answer any real questions. They handpicked where they went to answer questions. TalkSport, podcasts, they handpicked them. They didn't want to come to the people that had real questions for them. And that's the same with this lot. And as soon as they said that, I said, nah, I can't back this lot. Gold and Sullivan gone. It's like choosing between shit and sick, in my opinion. And we're stuck with the same old shit.
Yeah, we all said it at Friday Night Pint Live, didn't we? Back when it looked like they was going to get ready for their second bid. And, look, Tony COYI will always be a West Ham legend. I still to this day don't know why he got involved. I know Tony COYI wants better for the football club, like we all do. But I think, it was a dodgy decision from Tony COYI. But I don't think that ruins his sort of legacy with West Ham. I think he'd still be welcome at West Ham, and he still is a West Ham legend. As for the Ferdinands, I mean, it was not so much Anton, because Anton wasn't very vocal about it, and he's always comes out and he says good things about the football club because he loves the football club. Rio, on the other hand, I couldn't give two fucks about Rio Ferdinand, if I'm honest. I know he was at Leeds and Man United, and he's been away from West Ham a long time, but he still grew up a West Ham fan, and he still says that he loves the club, but then he's the first to want to push our best player towards Man United. It's just one of the things. I said from the beginning, we can go back to these post-match Friday Night Pints when this PAI Capital thing first come out. I said it's not going to go nowhere. I couldn't see Gold and Sullivan selling to this lot. And I'm glad they haven't, because they're just so amateur for a professional company like themselves. They're so amateur, and it's embarrassing. And I think they probably would have been worse than Gold and Sullivan. And that's saying a lot.
let me just answer this quickly. So you're basing the credibility of a huge organisation off the fact that they didn't want an interview with you. Stay in your lane, Nicky. That's not how you spell my name for a start. But I never said that I based the credibility of them on whether they wanted an interview. They didn't want to answer. It wasn't from me. I was just going to be the one reading questions out. They didn't want to answer the questions. That's what it was. I'm not basing the credibility on whether they wanted an interview. Who gives a fuck? I could have had an interview with them. Could have had an interview like every other fucker had an interview with them. But I wanted to ask some questions that the supporters put to them, and they didn't want to answer them. They didn't want to. You see it when they went on to talk sport, how much of a car crash that was. They asked them questions. They dodged around it. I'm in my lane, firmly in my lane. I don't do it as a presenter on a show. I would have met him in the car park and took no cameras. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me at all. I just wanted to know whether it's going to be the best thing for our football club, like everyone did. And I think everyone deserves the answers. West Ham ain't going to print it. Everyone else is mulling around Tony COYI. I wanted to be the one to give the answers to the West Ham fans. It's not about standing in my lane. I'm in my lane.
Yeah, there's no point in us interviewing Tony COYI because he's only going to say the same thing that he said on all the other channels. We as a channel wanted to interview someone like Philip Beard, someone else involved in PAI Capital, just to get a different view on what Tony COYI was saying. Because every interview Tony COYI done, it was the same questions being asked and the same answers being given. But that's no disrespect to the people that interviewed him, because you can only ask him a certain amount, because he ain't going to give away too much, is he? So. Yeah.
The problem is when you have stuff like that, they cherry pick the answers that they want to give. Like you said, with the TalkSport interview, Simon Jordan, who's not one of my most popular characters, but he tore them to pieces. And that's the thing. You can't dodge questions when you're coming in and saying that you want to do this and you want to do that, and you're going about the business the way they went about it, which, as we said and as you guys said before, was very amateurish. Yeah, it wasn't
totally unprofessional.
Yeah. Exactly.
It wasn't. With all due respect, they're trying to get former players, desperate former players. Maybe I don't know where Rio sort of folds into this. To be quite honest with you, I just don't know where he.
I think in it that he's very good friends with Philip Beard from their QPR days.
Maybe,
but I think it's more Anton knows that, and I think what it was.
What's that got to do with Rio?
But they probably approached Anton, and Anton's, because Rio's, no disrespect to Anton, Rio's the bigger name. So maybe Anton was approached about it.
But then how unprofessional is that when you've got what's the point? If I was Pepsi, yeah, it's like me being the CEO of Pepsi and going, oh, that geezer can be the CEO, and he's employed by Coke.
I thought you was going to say, if I'm Pepsi and he's Shirley.
No, it's complete he's a Manchester United fan. When he talks about Manchester United, he says we. When every time that they talks about Manchester United, he says we. He's a Man United fan. Simple as that. He spent many years at his club, and I don't begrudge him that. But for a company like that, it's like now employing David Beckham as the face of Nike. We'll forever know him as the face of Adidas. That's what it is. It's like it's so it's not thought out, and then you've got a geezer flogging mattresses down the market, talking up for them as well. That makes no sense. And tell me I'm wrong. Like this geezer here, they don't owe you any answers. No, they don't owe me nothing. Like I don't owe them nothing. I don't owe them my support. And if they want to take over a club, they need the fans' support. I'm a fan.
I think this the bloke that's commented there. I think what we're not saying that it's us. We want the fan base to have the answers, not just West Ham Fan TV. Us as forget West Ham Fan TV. We're West Ham fans at the end of the day. We was before the channel, and we'll be up if the channel finished tomorrow. We'll still be West Ham fans. We just want answers because we want the best for our football club.
A lot of money don't make an organisation big.
No,
exactly. But it also doesn't make them a good owner proposition. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's if you want to buy a football club, you don't go about it the way they went about it. Do you know what I mean? You approach the board, you approach whoever it is that owns the club. You do it all on the down low, because the last thing you want to do is show that there's interest in the football club, and another party comes in, because then you're just starting a bidding war. Is this that you've got to look into it a bit more? And these people coming in do they have something with Sullivan? You know, is Sullivan trying to drum up interest in selling the club to make the club valuation go up? Was this a little preemptive strike to say, oh yeah, well this company's involved in it. Does anyone else want to get it? Do you know what I mean? You've got to look beyond that. You can't, you know, we know our owners are into dodgy dealings. You know, you've seen that with the sale of the Bowen and stuff like that. You know, you've got to look at a lot more into it. The fact that there was never a proper bid made. Do you know what I mean? The fact that they went and spoke to the LDDC. Why are they going to go and speak to the LDDC? Unless you're concrete of actually you feel that you're going to get the deal done, why go and talk to the owners of the stadium? You do that once you've bought the club, because obviously you buy the club on a cheaper rate. In fact, it isn't owned by the club.
Because as I said from the beginning, mate, that's all they was interested in was the assets. They're not interested in the football club or the fans. They just wanted to own the football club for the land. But you know what?
We said that from the first statement, because the first statement never mentioned anything about improving the squad, improving the training facilities, all that. It was all about, make the walk better from Stratford, make this better, make that better.
And if they were such a big organisation and they were smart businessmen, because you wouldn't even say they were smart businessmen. The club has been on its knees in the last 5 years, and they want to go and buy it when actually we're doing all right. It makes no business sense, does it? Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the minute, since we left the Bowen, the club is going to be valued at the top it'll ever be valued. We're in Europe. We're doing well in the league. We've done well in the league last year. We've got £100 million small squad. Got £100 million player on our books. Like, if you're going to buy a club, you know, it's like buying at the stock market at the top end. What's the fucking point? It's only going to go down from here. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to invest in it to make it even better. But in terms of buying the club, it's the worst possible time. Like the Mickey Mouse outfit. Mickey Mouse. Don't know what they're doing. He's don't know what he's doing from his time at QPR.
Let's hope that this has opened the eyes of some other potential buyers, and you know they know that the board are interested in selling, but just to the right people. So you never know, there might be some other people out there. But anyway, do you know what? Fuck PAI, they're gone.
The thing is, it worries me the fact that when the club is sold, who they sell it to, because again, they've got previous in not caring about who they sell it to. All they care about is the money that they earn. You saw that with Birmingham. You know, they sold Birmingham to.
Yeah, but that's like anything, Scott. If you were selling your house, you wouldn't care who you were selling it to, would you? You'd sell it to
But that's the thing that worries me with them.
They can't be any.
I don't think. I don't think that they'd be fucking run out of town if they'd done that. They live local, so they've got to sell it to someone. They've got to sell it to someone with credibility. I don't think they're just going to sell it to anyone, like, because they won't be able to go anywhere.
Mm. Yeah. Anyway, fuck PAI Capital. Let's move on to another subject because it's fucking boring. One thing I do want to mention, obviously, Winston Reid left the football club. This week. It's a sad ending for him, innit? Because I think someone tweeted out on Sunday night or Monday when it was announced that we was playing Man United the weekend. It would have been very fitting for him to come out in front of the fans and say his goodbyes. It's like he's just been pushed out the back door, a bit like what Kevin Nolan was. Ginge got a decent send-off because we knew he was leaving. But Winston Reid, 11 years he's been at the football club. I know he hasn't played since 2018. Me and you were there, Scott, when he got injured, and I remember me and you both saying to each other that's a long-term injury.
Yeah,
a long-term injury, and it was. It proved that he never got to play for West Ham again. But I just think that it would have been nice for him to come out, especially after scoring the last goal at the Bowen against Man United. It would have been nice for him to come out, and hopefully one day, one game this season, he will come back. And the player and the fans can show their appreciation. I see someone say about, obviously, Reid should get a testimonial, Ginger Pele should get a testimonial, which I agree with. And wouldn't it be good if you done a Winston Reid 11 versus a Ginger Pele 11 at the London Stadium, and they both get a testimonial together? I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it's disappointing. It was terrible the way they released when Collins hit and they didn't give him the testimonial. And I think with Reid, you know, he's been a good servant for the club. He's going to go down in history, you know, with the goal that he scored in the last game at Upton Park. And it's such a shame just the way he's been treated. You know, it is like you said, it is like he's just been shoved out the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's mutual consent. I can imagine Winston Reid was probably saying, "Look, I just want to go. I just want to leave." And don't get me wrong, Winston Reid's earned a lot of money out of West Ham while being injured, but that's not his fault. You know, he's tried to come back. He went on loan to Brentford. He didn't he go out on loan to America as well.
Yeah.
At one point, he just wasn't. He was just never going to get back in the West Ham fold. And it's a shame because there was one point where he was such a top defender for us. He was a massive part of us getting back to the Premier League when we was in the Championship under Big Sam. You know, you remember his goal against Millwall. You know,
2015 he was probably first name on the team sheet.
Yeah, 2015. And do you remember he was linked with Arsenal and he signed that new 6-year deal, wasn't it? And we was all excited because he was a great prospect. I remember when we first signed him, no one really heard of him. I know he scored in the World Cup for New Zealand. But he's been a great servant for West Ham. It's such a shame the way his West Ham career ended because you remember that moment when he did score the winner at the Bowen, you know, and then after that, it just seemed to go downhill. You know, the first season at London Stadium wasn't great. And then obviously the season after he picked up the injury.
And that's it. You know, how much this service...
Matt was saying it was Spurs, not Arsenal. It was Arsenal. Spurs might have been interested, but Arsenal.
It was Arsenal who was heavily linked with, But
Arsenal made contact.
It's just it's bad that we mistreat players like this. You know, the fact that
I never took to Winston Reid.
But the thing is, the length of time he's been at a club.
He's been there a long time, but he's been injured a long time as well. Like I would say, he's been with us for 11 years. I would say he's probably been injured for half of that. Like I would honestly, like he ain't played in nearly 4 years since his injury.
I'll be honest, I sort of agree with Nicky. Is that the reason why I never took to Winston Reid? I always found him very standoffish. I've met him a couple of times, and he's hardly said 2 words to anyone. He always comes across as very miserable. But that might just be the way he is.
Yeah, but that's it. But when you look at what he's done for the football club and how long he's been at the football club, you know, it should be that length of time you've been there. Once you've been there, you should automatically get a testimonial.
Even though testimonial have a different relationship with the players and that. But as a fan, I'll be honest with you. As a fan, I never took to him. I just didn't think he always for me. Just for me, he always come across as arrogant.
Yeah, but some people
hate that. I hate that in people.
Some people like that, you know. But this is the thing: it's not, you know, testimonials now are not about the money, or not. You know, it used to be the big payday for a player that had served the club for a long period of time. But it's just a bit of respect for the player.
I mean, you could argue with Ginger Pele that he didn't do 10 years consecutively. He broke that service when he went to Villa and come back, but he still deserves a testimonial in my eyes.
Exactly. And that's the thing, you know, like you said, how bad would it have been? You know, like we said, Ginger got a send off. Reid didn't.
Scott, Kevin Nolan was subbed off at half time against Bournemouth, and then he was released 2 days later. Yeah, which is great. One of the best captains we've had at West Ham.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but have you seen an Instagram post, a Twitter post, a Facebook post, or anything like that of Winston Reid thanking the fans?
Yeah, he done something on the official website.
Yeah, that's written for him. I'm talking about him personally.
No, he done a video.
What am I eating? Raindicker. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. Wasn't looking for it, to be fair. But
if you don't look, you'll never see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously, it was one that the club had already prepared before they released it.
I'll have to have a look at it. But I, you know, like when a player leaves a club, like normally they put out a personal post saying thank you so much for the support and all that. I ain't seen nothing from him.
Probably will. I mean, he obviously tweeted. He put on Instagram that he was on a plane, so he's probably going to sort somewhere to where he's going to his next chapter of his football career is, or he might retire. You know, I thought he had a chance of maybe going to Brentford. You know, he done well there last season when he played. But look, it's one of them things. But he's gone from the football club now. So
let's take some comments.
Yeah, whatever he does in his career now, I wish him well. I don't wish
another big wage off the bill, though.
Yeah, spend it. Matt Rainey says we need to treat our current heroes and legends with more respect. Once they are gone, they are gone. Chris Mill says, I love Reid. Goals against Tottenham, Millwall, and the last got to Bowen. And my bulldog is named after him. Winston's just a normal bulldog's name, though, surely. I know many Winstons before Winston Reid. Someone just sent me of a petrol station at Morrison's. Got to be 50 cars. Jesus Christ, go and watch West Ham Fan TV. It makes sense. Miss Emmerich says, so true. Collins and Reid, great servants with their spells with us. Stevie Ball says he deserves a testimonial just for scoring against Manure and Millwank. Dean Henderson, at least bring him on the pitch so we can give him a good send-off. I go, boo. Reid scored the last ever goal at Upton Park. He deserves a testimonial for his outstanding service.
Yeah.
Should the blame fall on Moyes for the loss against Man United? Surely someone else in that 11 can take a penalty. That we've spoke about that last week. And as Ahmed wouldn't give Reid a testimonial personally. Hammers Mikey says Jack Wilshere testimonial for his outstanding contribution to West Ham. I will never forget that night at the Bowen. Wish you well, Winston. What a legacy. The last ever goal at Bowen would be happy. I would die happy with that. And someone said on Instagram, Reid did send a message to thank fans and thank everyone he played with at the club. Oh, well, I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's just a shame. It's a shame he went the way he went, and the injuries that he got. He had big things at his feet, didn't he? When he was linked with Arsenal, he signed that big deal. He was probably our best defender at the time, and it's just sad the way it ended.
Yeah, as we said, mate. Yeah, it's sad the way it ended for him. But look, as you said, he'll always be in our history. You look up in 50 years, 100 years' time, who was the last person to score at Upton Park? Winston Reid, always in our history. So
exactly.
Fair play to him. That's it.
There's a nice comment here. I'm putting a nice one up because I normally put the horrible ones up. Ollie Shrub Soul says, hi, Nicky and Ryan. Met you guys at the United game Sunday. Top blokes and had time for everyone's fan cam. Loving the content. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
I was the cameraman because Scott weren't there and Dan's too big to be a cameraman now.
I apologise I weren't there, mate. I was ill. I'll be back next game. Don't worry.
What do you want to talk about, Scott? Because we ain't got long left, mate. Anything else in the West Ham world you want to talk about this week?
Bowen's bid.
I was just going to say that the ridiculous offer that Liverpool made for Bowen, allegedly. 20 million £20 for Bowen. As much as I'm not his biggest fan, he's worth more than that.
You're not his biggest fan?
Nah.
Why?
What? Just not.
That's all right. It's his opinion. It's his opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know what you and Dan watch. I honestly don't. I think you've got to have a vendetta against someone. I think Bowen's one of our hardest workers.
He's a hard worker. I don't discredit him for that. I think he's a hard worker, but he's not.
Turn around and say that the other night it didn't impress you what he done.
He worked hard like the other night. I've said this before. His end product lets him down massively.
Yeah, I've said that as well. I got criticised for saying that he needs to score more goals.
Yeah, he does. He was signed off his goal scoring form for Hull, so he needs to score more goals. And the thing is, as I've said before, my criticism of him is the same criticism I had for Fornals last season. His work rate was great. His the energy he brings to the team is great, but his decision making and his finishing wasn't good enough. Fornals has improved that. Bowen, for me, has gone backward on that. He's still got the work rate, he's still got the drive, and I thought he had a great game against United the other night, but his final third, that his decision making in the final third and his finishing lets him down. Yeah, but you could argue that Antonio was like that and he worked on it. Yeah, and that's it. And that's what I want to see Bowen do. As I said, Fornals, I criticised Fornals for it. Fornals improved. Antonio, as I said, after seeing him the first couple of games of the season, I now feel that he is a striker. Do you know what I mean? He's not a winger playing in strikers. He is a striker. And now Bowen's got to do exactly the same thing.
I see Nick Tucker agreed with you. I've got to politely disagree with you both. I think he's one of my favourite players, to be quite honest with you. He's, I do understand what you're saying about his finishing and all of that sort of thing, but he works so hard. And I think me personally, I don't know what Ryan thinks, but I think he's getting better and better. And he's impressed me so much at the beginning of this season. Yeah, well, like he had a lot to work on, and he's still working on it. But the thing that winds me up about him is just the block shots he has, the times he hits them when he really should have a little bit more control over them. But apart from that, this season I think he's been one of our most important players, and like I'm full of praise for him. Full of praise.
But this is the thing.
So how do you stand on Fornals?
Fornals now is his all-round plays so much better.
So what happened? What about last season?
Last season was exactly the same. His work rate was great. His final third and his finishing was awful.
No, I'm talking about Fornals.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Fornals last season.
And have you not seen the improvement in Fornals?
Yeah, I said that. Fornals is completely different. Fornals has improved on the areas he needed to improve. Bowen's gone backwards.
No, he has not.
Yes, he has.
No, he has not.
He's gone backwards. His final third play and his finishing's dropped.
I've got to say, usually I agree with you, mate, but I can't agree with you on this one. I agree that, sometimes he takes that one touch too many, but the way he's creating chances, and look, it will come for him, and he's one of the first names on the team sheet for me. I want someone like a Bowen. Look at the job he had to do the other night at Old Trafford. He done it brilliantly. Imagine if we'd have had a Haller up there, or if Yarmolenko would have been playing up there on his own all night.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not criticising his work rate. His work rate is top notch.
Yeah, but you're saying he's going backwards.
No, I said his decision making in the final third and his finishing has gone backwards. He was signed on the back of the amount of goals that he scored for Hull, right?
But you've got to remember, for Hull, he played up front in the Championship. When you come to the Premier League, it's harder, and he's been put out on the wing. Not
disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is, watching when he plays, his decision making in that final third lets him down. As I said with Fornals last season, Fornals worked on it, improved. I want to see Bowen now working on that. He's got the ability, he's got the pace up and down, he's got the work rate up and down. He needs to work on that final third. He needs to get his head up and see the passes.
No respect. Listen, that's your opinion. I can see in the chat here. I'm reading the chat. It's so split. I'm surprised how split it is. I'm
not saying I wouldn't pick him to play. What I'm saying is
Bowen, no real quality. When was the last game he stood out? Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yeah, without a doubt. I thought he was man of the match, if I'm honest. But
I never think he was man of the match, but he played well Wednesday.
Scott, look, I agree with you in the sense, and I said this the other week, he needs to add more goals to his game, but which I got criticised. Someone said to me, what are you talking about? You don't talk about that's not his game. Well, it is his fucking game, because he's a football player, and he plays as an attacker. Whether it's on the wing or up front, you want to score goals and you want to assist.
I think when you look at the way we play, I think he's such an important player in our system. And he could go somewhere else. He probably would score more goals elsewhere, but he works so hard, and that's the thing about this team. They work so hard for each other, and I think he puts in extra shit. Like
mate. West Ham second 11 as well. We made 10 changes.
Bowen was the only one from the first 11 starting at the weekend. But this is what I'm saying. Listen, I ain't criticising his work rate one bit. I'm not. Don't get me. His work rate is phenomenal, and as I said, he played really, really well the other night. Just that final third that lets him down.
I'll tell you what,
I disagree a little bit.
I'll tell you what, though, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets himself a goal tomorrow, because he's going to be right up for that against Leeds.
Yeah,
being a whole boy.
Definitely. And listen, I hope he does. I hope he goes on a good scoring run.
I don't think you do, Scott.
I do, because I don't want to see any player play bad.
No, look, I agree with Fornals. I think Fornals had a decent season last season. The season before that, it was getting used to the Premier League, but Fornals has been brilliant. Fornals is one of my favourite players at the moment. I love watching him, and I love him because sometimes he plays so well, he goes under the radar.
Yeah,
because Antonio scored goals, so people talk about that. But the work rate from Fornals all over the pitch, And what he's doing better now for Nels is he's getting back to help out defensively. And that's what Bowen does as well. And we never had that with like the likes of Felipe Anderson.
Yeah.
You know, we never had that. He wouldn't work back and help out, but Bowen does. And that's why David Moyes likes that British core, doesn't he? Yeah. He likes that hard-working sort of players. And Fornals as well, you know, that's what Moyes likes. He likes them sort of players that work.
And that's the thing. He has, with Fornals, he sees the ability that the player's got. He allows Fornals to be a bit more attacking, but he knows he's going to work. He knows he's going to work hard. You know, and Fornals has got that more creative mind.
Love you too. See, there's a comment here. Scott has got a vendetta with Bowen like Nicky does with Haller. No, I haven't got a vendetta against Haller. What I've got a vendetta against is people that don't work hard. And I think when you look at what Scott's saying, I think it's proof that I can forgive lack of talent. I can't forgive lack of work. And Bowen, he's got a lot to work on in the final third. I do agree with Scott in some ways, but to say he's going backwards, I don't agree. But what I would say is that it proves my point. I like people that work hard and play for the team. I don't like people like Sebastian Haller who stroll about thinking he's the bollocks and you know don't want to put his all in to make the team better. And that's what Bowen does. He makes the team better. Maybe not. Maybe Jarrod Bowen don't stand out like a Cristiano Ronaldo or someone like that. But he makes our team tick. In my opinion.
Matt Powell saying to me, Ryan, who do you hate? The thing is, mate, I don't hate any player. I want every player that puts on that shirt to do well. I can criticise players. Masuaku used to frustrate the life out of me, but now I love watching Masuaku because he's improved so much. So there's not. I wouldn't say I hate players. Especially for West Ham, I hate opposition players. I could sit here and name you loads of players that I fucking hate, opposition players. Anyone that plays for West Ham, I don't hate them, but I'll criticise them.
Listen, I don't hate Bowen, so I don't think I hate Bowen. I've not got a vendetta out against Bowen. I'm just noticing certain things of his game that I think he's gone backwards on. That's all.
So Nick Tucker says, so Nicky, would you put Yama Yulno?
Oh, Nick's been on the red wine.
in the Haller bracket.
I bet he's got a cardigan on and everything.
Yes, I would. Absolutely, I would. Absolutely. Although I give praise when it's due, and I thought he'd done all right on Wednesday because we should have scored. But again, the Man United game, he came on, completely changed the dynamism of our game, and that was just through lack of effort, in my opinion.
With Yarmolenko, he's got, when you're watching for the Ukraine, he's got so much talent, but it's just, I still think the reason why is because he thinks he should be starting. I think his body language is wrong when he comes on. But the other night when he started, he worked his socks off. I mean, he could hardly stand up at the end. But
and that's the thing with Yarmolenko, like you say that, but then look when he come on the other season against Chelsea.
Bullshit,
Nick.
No, but then that's what you just said there, Rise. You know, I think I should be starting, so therefore I'm not going to give my old bollocks. Earn your place, and you ain't earned it.
Well, we know that. We know that.
Nah, bollocks. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And I know he's got loads of talent and all of that sort of thing. He is a good player, and that's the same as Haller. And that's what I've always said about Haller. He's a good player, but when you don't want to put in your effort because you know, I think Haller was in exactly the same bracket. He found himself on the bench because he didn't want to work. It's no coincidence that Moisey preferred Antonio over Haller. It's no coincidence at all because Moisey can see what I can see. He just doesn't want to work.
Yeah,
I think he's got a lot of talent, and that's the same with Yarmolenko.
With Haller, Haller's not a lone striker, is he? Where he's going to chase it like Antonio. If Haller was played in a two up top, then maybe it might be different. You know, you see what Harris working at Ajax for him. I'm not comparing the Dutch league to the Premier League, but you never know. But he played up top on his own. And he was never going to be that striker that wanted to run and chase like Antonio will run and chase for you all day long.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I will defend Haller on. He isn't that type of striker. You know, we've said it before with Chicharito. He wasn't that type of striker. You know, we seem to get strikers that are good strikers, but the team doesn't play the way that to benefit that striker.
The systems don't fit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it was. With Yama, I think Yama's one of those. He probably has got a little bit of an ego, but when he's up for it, he's up for it. When he's not, he's not. And
mate, he's the top goal scorer in the history of Ukraine. So he's going to have a bit of an ego, and he probably thinks he is a lot better than what he is.
And I think he's still going to have a role to play in Europe, because I think in Europe, I think he's suited. I think there's certain teams within this competition, the Europa League competition, that are not going to be able to deal with him. It's just about using him the right way now.
He's a good player, but I just can't suffer players that don't want to fucking run because they think they're better than what.
Someone just said there about Vlasic improving game by game. I see Vlasic's got a bit of criticism on social media the other day, but you've got to think he's played 3 games for West Ham. I mean, this is the problem with having the likes of a YouTube channel and social media, is that you can go on and criticise players straight away. You've got to give him time. The boy's just moved over from another league, another country.
He's been playing in Russia.
Yeah, the Premier League is a tough league. So
exactly.
We will never know how tough it is because we'll never play in the Premier League. But
talk for yourself.
Mate, you couldn't even play at Power League, let alone play in the Premier League.
and that's the thing, it's comment here. Stevie C says, Hilaire just stated on IXTV that the English Premiership is another level compared to everything else he's played. And that is it. It's the adaptability. You look at Ben Rama. Ben Rama took time to settle into the Premier League. And that is it. Vlasic just moved in from playing in the Russian league, which is nowhere near as competitive as what we're in. And he's going to take time to adapt. But the thing he's got on his side is he's a worker as well.
Some people criticised Kroll the other night. I didn't think he was that bad. And when you look at his stats from the game, he broke up play and he done the easy stuff. Some fans expect these new players to score hat-tricks on their debuts and things like that. I thought Kroll looked decent the other night.
Yep. Yeah, I do as well. Some geezer was in me at the comments of one of the post-match pint games saying how much of a prick I am and how I don't know my football about Van der Beek. He claims to be a West Ham fan. I'll stand by my comments, mate. He's terrible. And
right. Van der Beek had a better game last night than the last time I saw him against us. Put it that way.
Yeah, but who did he play last night?
Not last night. Sorry, the other night.
I was to say, what game did he play last night?
Yeah, no, he was one of the better players for United the other night. But he's nowhere near what the player that they signed.
He was playing against the second string West Ham.
Yeah.
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 Every time I saw him, I don't know whether I was just looking for it, but he give the ball away every time I see him. He had something like an 84% pass rate or something. For a midfielder, that's terrible. When you think about how much they have the ball and they go fucking side to side like a crab, right? And when I saw him, he fucking tried to dribble out of his area and Bowen caught him in the fucking area. If that's a good game, well, fuck me. Barmore must have been our fucking hammer of the year 5 years on the spin.
Don't you ever disrespect Barmore?
No, I like Barmore because again, he worked hard. He looked like a talent. And I don't know. And he's telling this geezer trying to tell me he was man of the match.
I wouldn't say man of the match.
They lost 1-0. He didn't do fuck all, nothing.
Kroll, I can't get any criticism of Kroll from the other night. I don't understand where the criticism would come from his game the other night. Said first debut, first game, he's in a completely changed side. It's not like he's been introduced into a side with 10 other players that have been playing.
And as I said to you, Scott, if you put Kroll, this is no disrespect to Mark Noble, but if you put Kroll alongside Souček and Rice, he'll be a lot better.
Yep, 100% agree, mate. And that's the thing. We now have fitting cover for them too.
Yeah, look, Man City at home in the next round of the Cup. You'll probably see a little bit of a stronger team than the other night.
You're gonna need to.
But we've got a team, we've got a squad now that we can adapt to change it for Europa, for the Cups, for the Premier League, and as long as we stay injury free, and that's the key thing.
Also, what you've got to remember about Kroll as well, and this is no disrespect because I thought Noble had a decent game, but you always see a more reserved midfield.
Yeah, Nick, you'll like that one.
Man the wing, yeah, that's true.
Man the week.
You always see a more reserved midfield when Mark Noble's playing because people have got to cover him and make sure that when he bursts forward, you've got to be there. You have to judge Krau when he's playing with Souček or Rice. You have to because you even look at Rice a couple of seasons ago playing with Noble, very restricted in what he could do. Same as Souček when he played with Noble, very restricted what he can do. But when you see them,
have a look at Thomas Krau, right? I'm sure he's the love child of David Luiz and Soufal.
Yeah, I've seen him, mate. Yeah,
he looks like Soufal with David Luiz's wig on. Honestly, look at him. It's scary. But look, he's as Scott said, he's a good squad player to have on the bench, and I think he'll be key this season.
Jeffrey Wood says you're talking bollocks, Scott. That's a fucking change from me talking bollocks. Carl worked very hard.
What one am I talking bollocks about? The Bowen,
all of it,
and the
all of it. You said tonight.
Krau worked very hard, but his passing was awful. I think you find out about Souček as well. I don't think his passing is the best. Dawson not much behind Diop. I thought they was both excellent. Again,
Joe puts the comment up about me talking bollocks, but don't tick on all the people that agreed with me about Bowen.
They're all talking bollocks and all. I'm only joking. No one's talking bollocks. It's all opinions at the end of the day, but you're wrong. No, I'm joking, Scott.
Yeah. Let's go ask me anything for 15 minutes because I've got to go to bed.
Yeah, I've got to get out for early for work. Fucking stock tape, man. We only have to do it twice a year, but at least we're doing it in the warm. Some of our other branches are doing it in like October, November when it's going to be pissing down the rain and freezing cold.
Yes. We both had the same idea at the same time.
Sorry, Mr. Hawkins.
Yes. Listen, it's all opinions, mate. We'll have them.
Life would be boring if we don't.
Jimmy Greaves. Let's talk about Jimmy Greaves just quickly before we go anything. Unfortunately, we lost Jimmy Greaves last weekend. Fantastic player. Like one of probably the greatest goal scorers in the English game.
Oh, without a doubt. I think he only ever played. He's more obviously known for Chelsea and his time at Tottenham. He only played like 40-odd league games for West Ham, but he's still a great goal scorer. And it's a shame that when you look at that 1966 story that he missed out on the final because you couldn't have subs in them days. So it was between him and Jeff Hurst. And look, we can't say whether if Greasy would have played, we'd have won that game. We'd never know. But what a player, what a goal scorer. Absolute legend of the game for not only West Ham, but for Chelsea and Tottenham as well.
Yeah. XXXXXX says Jimmy Greaves, greatest ever English goal scorer. And Weston Boyce as well. He said this a few times, but yeah. Horrible when you sort of people you grew up watching start to pass away. It makes you feel old. But
someone done a picture on Twitter. I wish I would have saved it to my phone. They done like an artist picture of all the people from Fools and Horses that have passed away in the Nag's Head. Yeah, it was really good. They even had like obviously Denzel's wife in it because not a lot of people know that was the only episode she ever done because she died shortly after that.
Yeah,
like John Sullivan always kept her in it. You know, he always mentioned her name and things like that. So it's a shame. As you said, Nick, as we get older, we do start losing people that you've grown up watching on TV. And I was lucky enough to meet Boyce a few years ago, and he was such a lovely bloke. And yeah. Jimmy Greaves, it's sad. It is sad when you start because I don't think there's a lot. How many players left now in the 1966 squad? There's not many.
Not many now, no.
Is it free?
Yeah. It's sad. Shame.
Yeah.
Luke Malden says, what bad result still hurts you to this day for me, the FA Cup final 06? Yeah, I don't think you're going to find a different answer here, to be honest.
Yeah, 06 and probably 4-1 at Millwall.
No, that 06 one.
I still get teased about that now. They just won't let that go.
Rusty said, and he got a video of Joe Cog doing a Rabona.
I actually have. I found it.
Don't, because the geezer's going to be on our case again.
I found it, but I lost it.
It's like I even got him in contact with the club. He used to ask us every other week, "Have you got a bit?" And it was some The thing is, it was some fucking mundane get like a 0-0 with Derby or something in 1999 or something ridiculous like that. I even messaged the club for the geezer because he got on my nerves so much.
Why don't you just send him the footage of Joe Cole in the Youth Cup final against Coventry when he done it from the halfway line and set someone up?
Yeah,
that was even better.
Maybe that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah, maybe we've had it all this time and we thought it was something against Derby in fucking 99 or something like that.
Yeah, let's not forget that about Greaves as well. Greaves also had a great TV. He was a great pundit. I grew up watching Saints and Greaves.
That's the generation we knew, didn't we? Like as a TV host with obviously Ian St. John.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Funny as well. Very funny man.
I was chatting to Nick Tucker the other day, and that's what we said about it. You know, a lot of people will remember him from that more than his football.
Yeah,
because when a certain era when you grew up, that's what you remember Greavesy from.
Saints and Greavesy.
Yeah. I think someone
Giving Echo says, I feel quite privileged to have played alongside Jimmy Greaves, Martin Peters, Jeff Hurst, and Greg Bobby Moore in their training sessions at the old Chadwell Heath. Yeah, well, that's something to tell your grandkids. I can tell you that now.
Definitely. Definitely.
Zahid Ali says, Nicky, tell us about the Europa game and the big blue hooligans following. It sounds like I was in a TV, like a kids' TV program.
You told that story the other night, didn't you?
Yeah, I told it. I'm not going to tell it again.
Hey, Nick, who's left at the 66? George Cohen, Bobby Charlton, and Jeff Hurst.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Somebody
said,
I think that Jimmy Greaves and the players that didn't play eventually got a medal, didn't they? But it's not the same, is it?
No.
Not the same. I don't get why you couldn't have subs in them days.
I got to tell you, someone said, when's Nicky or Ori time? I had, for work, because we provide West Ham with some of their hand sanitizers and things, a tour of the training ground the other day, and Dougie took us round. I won't say too much because professionally I'm not allowed.
Dougie chinned him.
But Dougie knew that I weren't too keen on the training ground by the way he was talking to me. And he showed me around. He kept on showing me cupboards full of biscuits. And like, yeah, see, they've got everything they need. I was like, oh, okay.
Mate, as long as you got biscuits, that's all you need at a training ground.
No, very, very good. Very nice guy. Showed me around, give me a tour. Kept on showing me Mark Noble's boots. And I was like, cheers, thanks for that. I'm not one for that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like boots and shirts and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, it is what it is. I won't say too much.
Someone just said,
don't give it away.
I know you two probably ain't interested, but Joshua or Usyk, I'm going Joshua round 8 stoppage.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight.
I reckon if he's going to win it, he's going to do it early.
The thing is, with that Usyk, I mean, I watched him against Derek Chisora, and if Derek Chisora was a little bit younger and a bit more fitter, he probably would have beat Usyk that night. You know, it's to take a step up. And look, Usyk looks a unit now, and he's obviously working on it, but I just think Joshua is going to be too powerful for him. I really do.
To be honest,
it's just a shame that a great fight like that's been a shithole in Tottenham.
Yeah, as my limited knowledge of boxing, I'm not going to say that I know. I think
I can nearly knowledge of football, but you made a YouTube channel out of it.
I've got a much better knowledge of football than I have boxing. Put it that way. But I think Usyk's a better boxer, if you get what I mean. But I think Joshua's going to be too powerful for him.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
I don't know. It's going to be.
I know Anthony Joshua because of the Lucasade adverts, but apart from that,
it's going to be an interesting fight because a lot of people just think of Joshua when he lost at that time, but you know he's regained his belts and look, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. Shame it's not a great undercard, but then again,
undercard's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, but look, it is what it is.
Is he a Ukrainian or something?
Mm.
Is he the one that kept on doing the hammer sign?
Yeah.
He's going to lose him.
Yeah. But then again, West Ham do well at Tottenham Stadium, didn't they? So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It'll be a great fight, and I think it'll probably be like whatever happens, there'll probably be a rematch out of it because I can't see Joshua and Fury fighting anytime soon because Fury's got to beat that other bum in America again for the third time. I know they drew the first one, but really he won it.
Yeah.
Come on, Fury, pull your finger out. Come on, Joshua, get in the ring. Give us the fight we all want to fucking see.
Is it
I was watching an interview with him the other day.
Who, Joshua?
Fury.
Yeah.
About why he's fighting him again because everyone's saying like he's ducking him and all that. The other guys have threatened to sue him.
He had to. They went to a US court and he had to fight him. So he just thought, you know what? I'll knock you out again and then I'll move on. That's what I love about Fury. He'll do him again. He'll fucking do him. And I agree with that one as well, that comment there. I think Fury does beat Joshua. And I've said that for a long time. Again,
there, Fury's the better boxer.
Yeah, Fury will outbox anyone. You know, the size of him, he knows how to... He's
got a better chin as well than AJ.
Tyson Fury's name sounds like it should be in a computer game. Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ryu, Ken, Tyson Fury,
Frank Bruno. That ain't got the same ring to it, is it?
Not really, no.
I love Bruno. But anyway.
Let's be honest, this is a good weekend for sport, isn't it? You got the Ryder Cup. You got all the football, and you've got I've got
no interest in that. I can't stand golf, honestly.
You got. Look, I don't like golf, but I always watch the Ryder Cup.
I don't.
No, me neither.
Fucking most boringest sport I've ever fucking watched in my life.
I don't know. Cricket takes some fucking beating.
Yeah, but
with cricket, mate.
I'll tell you what. When you say about cricket, I'm the same. I don't really watch much cricket, but I watched England in that World Cup final when they won it, and that last innings was crazy. And
it's the same as rugby. I don't watch rugby, but whenever England are playing, I watch it.
I've got nothing against people that likes golf. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just I know golf don't like me. Me and golf don't talk. But you know what? I like a bit of crazy golf. Junkyard golf in Shoreditch. That's a fun day. You get drink as you go around, you get pissed, play a bit of crazy golf, and then happy days. Banana shots. If you've been there, you know what the banana shots are.
Right, let's have a couple more questions. We've got about 5 minutes. If you want to ask a question, ask it now.
Nick Tucker says golf spoils a good walk. Let's have a little talk about the Leeds game because obviously we've got Leeds tomorrow. Nicky, you're going up there with Graham tomorrow. I'm gutted I can't go, man. I'm fucking gutted. One place I wanted to go is Ellen Road and work fucking gets in the way. But I think you know, looking at Leeds, Bamford's out. That's a massive boost for us. They've got quite a few injuries tomorrow, so I think the only person missing for us is Fredericks, who picked up a groin strain the other night. So we're full. Antonio's back. So on paper, we should win. But as we know, football's not played on paper. It's played on grass, and it's in front of a full-packed Ellen Road tomorrow. But I still think we're going to I fancy us tomorrow. I really do. I really fancy us. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory.
So people in the chat saying, where's the preview? I've done it, Nicky. Nikki's going to try and sort it out.
Fuck you. That's all I'm going to say about the preview. Fuck you.
I'm a busy man now, Nick. It's hard. I don't like you.
And you're making it easier.
Exactly.
Henry Layton says, who started this channel? Will did. Will started it.
Graham started it in his basement.
Yeah.
Graham started in his basement. He dragged us all down and went film. A long time ago, that when we sat in that cafe in Wickford.
Yeah.
6 years ago, isn't it? Yeah, this is a good one. What's your top 3 stadiums in England for atmosphere in your experience? I'm going to say
Wolves. I'd say Wolves. From my experience, Wolves. That was a loud one. I'm
going to say I'll chuck one in. I'm going to say Huddersfield when they was in the Premier League.
Never went
because I went there.
That was a good one.
Managed to go there twice, and their fans for the 90 minutes. Even that game when we beat them 4-1, They was loud from the beginning to the end, and I thought it was a real great atmosphere. Crystal Palace ain't a bad atmosphere, you know.
When they're winning,
yeah, they got their ultras down in the corner, and they create an atmosphere. Well, that's what they're called, the Palace Ultras. You know, they've got a drum and a fucking saxophone or whatever they've got.
blokes with flags. That's all they are. I agree with you with Palace, right? Palace when they're winning, they've got a very, very good atmosphere there.
It depends really what you call atmosphere, because we can make a good atmosphere at a stadium. Like I enjoy Palace. Palace is decent because it's enjoyable for us, but I don't know about sort of atmosphere. Yeah, all right, I'll go for that. Yeah, I'll back that free, to be honest. But I never went to Huddersfield.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield really surprised me. I mean, I went up there with Graham one year, and I went up there with Scott the year after, and both games honestly, their fans from start to finish were just non-stop because no disrespect to a club like Huddersfield, but they're just happy to be in the Premier League.
Yep.
You know, mixing it with the bigger teams. No, they are. Of course they are. They haven't been in the Premier League for so long. No, they're going to enjoy every experience because the first season they come up, they probably didn't expect to stay up. Mm-hmm. So they're going to enjoy every moment they're in the Premier League.
There's another one here. Delboy says, Nicky, you going back on Don Robbie's channel? Yeah, more than likely. Unless he's had enough of me. Nino 1983 says, worst away game?
Millwall.
Yeah, Millwall.
I think Millwall, and when we lost 4-1, and the game where we lost to Tottenham in the last minute when Harry Kane scored a penalty at the old White Hart Lane 3-2. When we was 2-0 up, weren't we? Or 2-1 up, and then they equalised, and then they got a penalty in like the 94th fucking minute.
Yeah.
Mine was probably at Spurs when we lost 4-1.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, that was a shit one as well. But then
there was another one in the FA. I think it was the FA Cup.
When you're 3-0 down, you sort of know you're going to lose. But when you're 2-1 up with 8 minutes to go and you lose 3-2 at Spurs, that's not great.
That's true.
FA Cup, Wimbledon was bad. There was another FA Cup game way before we done the channel. 7-0, I think, to Man United.
Yeah.
We was there.
Remember when we went up there in the FA Cup the year after we won there 1-0 and we lost 6-0 when Phil Neville chipped David James?
I think that's the one I'm talking about, actually.
I thought, fuck me, here we go.
Delbs says 6-0
to
Reading. I think we was there as well, weren't we?
That was the one when Collinson got sent off? Was it Collinson for kicking someone in the last minute?
What was the one? Like was that 3-0 when we went there when Pardew sub Airwood off after about 8 minutes? Was that 3-0?
I think it's easier for us to pick fucking worst games than it is best games. I'm telling you, there's been some shit down the years. Well, even Newcastle away when we lost 3-0 up there when Bilic took Rice off at half time. And that was a terrible game. But it was a good piss up.
Mr. Testosterone says, Nick, why are you asking me? There's three. I'll cut my name out. Who will get relegated this season?
Can I just say one thing before we get on? His profile picture is Triple H. I see Nicky walking up the stadium stairs the other day. They was playing Triple H music. He got to the top of the stairs and he spat his water out like he was Triple H.
Oh, this is a subject that we could talk about before we who would get relegated this season?
Answer this question.
Yeah, Norwich.
Yeah,
nailed on.
Newcastle,
I think Watford.
I think Newcastle are going to go.
I also think Newcastle as well. Yeah, I think they might have pushed it too far this time.
I fancy Newcastle will stay up by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah,
I don't think they've got any teeth left, Scott. After
Burnley don't look good at the minute.
Yeah, but they always drag it out. They always grind it out, don't they? Under Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say Watford, Norwich, Leeds.
Leeds, yeah.
Second season syndrome, Scott. That's a good shout, mate.
Yeah. Good shout.
Especially when we do them 6-0 tomorrow.
You watch this get picked up.
Did you see today that they're thinking about letting fans drink beer in the stands?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. And the reason I say that is because as much as I'd love to enjoy a pint at my seat, I can handle it, like sitting there. But you get some people that if we score, they're going to chuck it in the air.
Damn lawless.
It's going to go over people. There's kids there. And I think, and it's not, it won't be long before someone chucks a pint at one of the players, or when the away team celebrates in front of you. So I think leave it in the concourse.
Yeah, mate, they do that now.
Yeah, but I say leave it in the concourse. I'll be honest, mate. I know you want to have your drink, but football fans are a different breed. You know, people say, yeah, but they do it at the rugby, they do it at the baseball, they do it at the basketball. That's different. You know, I just can't see it. I
just think 60,000 people with a pint, and in the concourse on away days it's a little bit different, but it's chucking it up in the air that would do it for me. And right, as much as people say that it will add to the atmosphere, I don't know if you've ever been out for a beer, because we've been out for a few, but you can't have one beer, can you? If you're on it, you're on it.
I think
backwards and forwards to your seat, backwards and forwards to the toilet. You spend more time downstairs fucking pissing up a post than you would sitting in your seat.
Someone said to me today, what's the difference with them taking like tea or coffee into that? I said, there's no difference. The only difference is when you score, you're not going to chuck your tea in there, are you?
Exactly.
PG tips.
Yeah, Bovril, F that, go on.
Yeah, this comment here, look, you know, they're drinking jerseys in Germany, Spain, and Italy. The difference is, I think it's the culture of drinking in them countries.
English fans are a different breed, mate. We love a beer.
I don't think it's just English fans. I think it's English people in general. I don't think with other European countries, they sort of drink to socialise. It ain't about the drinking. It's about going out to have a drink.
We drink to socialise.
Yeah, but over this, there's a culture in this country where it's drink to get hammered.
Thing is, Scott, if you were sitting in a restaurant and the waiter brought up your fucking dessert, you wouldn't chuck your beer in here, would you? Go, hey!
That's it. You know, that's exactly it. You know, but I just think it's a cultural thing. That's all. With us over here, it's more the go out, get smashed type thing than it is the go out, have a couple of beers with your mates.
Yeah, I do agree with what Chris is saying here. Yeah, it's the worst thing at half time where you got to down your pint and you feel rushed. And look, someone like Chris, and there are a lot of people out there that probably would go back to their seat and just enjoy their beer and sit down and watch the game. But you know, there's going to be some sort of people that ruin it for everyone else by chucking beer. And if someone takes
what they'll be doing, you know what they'll be doing as well, right? They'll be pissing in their seats.
Yeah. But the thing is,
some of them are dirty fucking horrible.
Anyone that said,
so have you took your kid to the game, like, and you're sitting there and someone chucks a beer in here and it all goes over your kid, what's it going to do? It's going to cause an argument.
That's it. Anyone that's ever been to a festival will know that you don't really want to be people drunk drinking beer when there's a way to get excited, because the amount of cups that fly during a festival of beer, and sometimes it's not beer. Yeah. Look, I'd love to take a beer down to the seat. Don't get me wrong, because the last time I went up for a pint at half time, I missed 20 minutes of the game. So you know, it's but no, I think just leave it as it is for now.
Yeah, Andrew's donated $50. Thank you so much for that, mate. Serve the beer in sippy cups.
Yep. There was another super chat earlier. We apologise for missing it.
Well, why don't you click it up then if you saw
it? Click it up, Scott. You see it,
I know.
Click it.
I was distracted. Sorry.
Like Boris, what's that? See it, click it, say it.
Bin it.
I think it was £4.49 or something like that.
Right, is that why you didn't read it out then? Because it weren't enough for you?
No, I just didn't see it, honestly.
Del Boy says He-Man or Thundercats? He-Man for me.
He-Man for me.
Yeah, I'll sort of go He-Man as well. He-Man. He-Man.
They're remaking that now, I think.
And then remake everything. Them lot pissing your beer and shit in your kettle, says Emma's Mikey. Ryan put a pork chop in Scott's mum's coffee. I'm not grassing him up, but he did.
Fucking right, mate. Pork chop coffee.
Did you know that? Scott?
Yeah, I remember. I remember that, mate.
Keeping it safe. Do you know why? Because someone said burglar, so I hid the pork chop.
He put a pork chop in your mum's coffee.
Yeah, but it was in the coffee pot. Not his mum didn't make a coffee, and I put it in.
It was in the coffee that you get the TCS box things, didn't it? It was in the coffee one of them.
Well, better safe than sorry, eh? Matt saying bottom or only falls.
Only falls.
Only falls, man.
Yeah, only falls. But I love bottom as well.
Bottom's good.
Oh, someone on the internet said the other day that only falls and horses was overrated.
Yeah. They
I've
live a sad life.
I've never seen
probably
anything
one of
like
these
it.
people that glue themselves to the M25.
Glue themselves into it. I was at what's that say?
Both Europa qualifier.
And the Aviva in Dublin snuck in cans of beer was easy. Ha 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 ha. Okay. When you lads bring a Friday night pint to Dublin, might get in contact with Dublin Irons. I would love to sort you out. Maybe go during international break.
Maybe next year when obviously the restrictions and everything could be.
What we'll do is look. Friday Night Pint Live was such a success, and we loved it. It was absolutely fantastic. And I know that.
Can I just say I'm up for going Dublin with no cameras and get on the piss.
It was such a good night, and everyone enjoyed it so much that we are planning to do that again. But if the demand is there, and I'm not going to commit and say yeah we're going to do it, but if the demand is there, we might go to Ireland, we might go to America to do shows. Maybe
we'd love to take it on the road, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we may. But the demand's got to be there. There's no point in us all going over in fucking all the way to America or Dublin or something. There's one geezer sitting there going, "Go on, Nicky, go on, Ryan."
Listen, if one person's bought a ticket, that's enough.
Exactly.
I reckon
when you've got to get
definitely be up for it. There'll be more than there'll be a few of them there. So I'm happy to go Dublin. We'll arrange that for maybe next. Ain't there usually like an international break during March or something like that?
Yeah, maybe we'll do Dublin, and then maybe next summer Las Vegas or something like that. And
you ain't going Vegas. They're not letting you in Vegas.
Well, I can go Vegas if I fucking want.
You wouldn't handle it, mate.
No, maybe, and then get all the like. I know there's a lot of American hammers like over there, and I know there's some English hammers that would.
Why don't we go Bass Vegas, a bit closer to home?
Yeah, Bass Vegas, but Bass Vegas first, and then Las Vegas. But I know there's a lot of like American hammers over there that a weekend away, and I know there's a lot of English ones that have come over for it as well.
Well, you could go to New York. There's a massive following in New York hammers.
They can come to Las Vegas. I prefer the sun, to be honest.
Mate, that it would be fantastic, wouldn't it, to do a Friday night pint, get as many as the the American fans,
Always thinking, Scott.
St. Patrick's Day, yeah.
All right, it's gone all silent. Like Anne Frank's birthday.
But whose birthday?
Anne Frank's.
Fucking hell.
That's
it, I think. I can't see any more questions coming through.
Matt Powell says, "Did you get your cars filled up today?"
No,
didn't need to.
Didn't fill up my car. There's the fucking idiots out there fucking filling up their cars when they've got petrol already, just because everyone else is. Yeah, fuck that. I didn't bother with that. I put what I needed in. I'm not one of them. I needed it. I
filled up my van because I was on about 20 miles, so I wouldn't have got home. So that was it. I can't now go out in my car because the petrol stations around here, 2 of them are shut, and the 3rd one's got a massive queue outside of it because all the idiots going to buy bloody petrol.
It's ridiculous. And that's what pissed me off the most is that I had to queue up in a queue to get the petrol that I needed, and I could see people going in there and putting in like £8 and 12 quid and things like that because they've already got a full tank of petrol. They're just getting it because everyone else is getting it. It's silly, right?
Wait until Sunday, mate, and no one can get an Uber Eats or a Deliveroo. They'll all be screwing.
What are you talking about diesel for?
Yeah, go to the fucking shop and get your own food.
Anyway, we'll leave it there, yeah?
One more.
Go on, one more.
Do you think we're not hearing fans moan about the stadium so much because now we're performing well on the pitch? No, I think because they've had the same shit for 5 years and been talking about the same shit for 5 years. I think that's why they ain't moaning as much.
I've said that since day one. I think if West Ham are doing well on the pitch, it does take away a bit of but it's still not home. It never will be home, but it's looking a lot better. I mean, you look back from day one to where it is now, it does look better. It does feel a little bit more like our stadium. a West Ham stadium, but yeah.
I think as well. I think the other reason why is because we had a whole year without it. Do you know what I mean? A whole year. I think so many people now are just so happy to get back to go and watch football.
I don't like the stadium, but
I don't like the stadium as a football stadium. I like the stadium as an event stadium. But I
like it as a social.
Listen, Scott, Ben said cut your own grass. That's what I say.
I agree.
I always cut my own grass, front and back.
I've got artificial.
Ooh. We got a geezer in to do ours.
What, cut your grass or artificial grass?
Cut the grass. It was getting a bit like jungle-ish.
Nick, you've only got a little fucking patch that's about 4 foot fucking.
No,
you got someone you could have done that. You could have done that with nail clippers.
No, we had him do the whole garden. There was weeds and shit growing out there.
I fucking hate gardening. I'm not a gardening person.
I don't like it, mate.
That's my. Do you know what I look like when with a lawnmower? You ever seen Football Factory when Billy Bright's cutting his grass and he's just swinging it around with one arm? Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm like. I can't stand it.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much.
Before we go, Nick, hold on. Score predictions for tomorrow.
I said 2-0.
I said 2-0.
2-0. I'm confident. I'm going 3-1.
All right.
Big week for West Ham. Leeds, Vienna next week, and then Brentford. Massive week before the international break. So come on, you Irons. 3 wins. Oh. To be fair, though, I'm really looking forward to that European game under the lights. I know what we say, whatever we think about the stadium. 60,000 West Ham, European night under the lights. It's going to be special. Really, really special. I'm looking forward to that.
So I'm just putting up some of the score positions. I'm with you, mate. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Why? There's 1,000 people writing their score, and you decide to put one score prediction up there.
No, I've put 3 or 4 up, mate. Thank you very much. I was going through them.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Look. 4-0, Cockney boys. Come on, you Irons. 3-2. Yeah, that'd do. Everyone's going for the West Ham win tomorrow. Even the Leeds fans are saying West Ham win.
Leeds worried about this one. They are.
Welcome back to another edition of West Ham's post-match pint. It's just finished. Leeds 4, West Ham United 0.
Sorry for cutting this one short tonight, guys, but we are. I've got to go and edit Scott's preview because he don't decide to do it and give me much time, and then I've got to get up for Leeds in the morning, and I know Ryan's got to get up as well. But thank you so much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. You can check out our t-shirts on our online store. The link's in the description down below. If you want to support us on Patreon, that link's in the description down below. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed. On the road to 60,000. We're very close now. I would imagine we'll have that by the end of the weekend. And then we're going to push on to 100,000 because I want a plaque on my wall. So, yeah. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Thank you so much for your contributions and the super chats. It's greatly appreciated. Look out for all the content tomorrow. Look out for Scott's preview. It'll be up in the morning. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're doing this carpool karaoke now on the way to away game, so we'll be eating a bit of that tomorrow.
Just basically, it's just Nicky singing because he don't let anyone else have a song.
No, Michael was singing.
All
right. When we're in the back tomorrow, I was in the front, and he's got a glass panel there.
That's what they all say.
Do?
That's what they all say. Let us log on.
Go on then. So we're doing carpool karaoke, so keep your eye out for that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And yeah, there's one thing left to say, boys.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on.